If you're somebody that's finding it challenging to stay consistent with the study of the word, then this video is for you. Know for sure that you're not alone, because a number of us still find this challenging. And in this series of videos, I'm going to be sharing a conversation I had with my friend, which between the two of us would probably have over 50 years of experience of studying the scriptures. And so we went through a range of the challenges that we faced and how we have gone through our journey of Bible study, and also talked about some practical tips that we were able to implement that supported us. And also we talked about the advantages and some of the things that benefited us from studying the scriptures and why we remain consistent with the study of the scripture. So stay with me as we go along in this series and share the tip one after the other. So in this first video, we'll talk about our personal experiences and our journey into how we are able to get into the process and being consistent with Bible study. Okay. So welcome back. And in this episode, myself and Elizabeth, she's been on the channel before, and we've had conversations with regards to how we study the Bible, and also we studied two books. Yes. One we still need to finish. So, but in this episode, we're going to be looking at why people struggle with studying the scriptures, and we'll just give our honest opinion about the experiences we've had and some of the things that we've used that has been helpful to keep us on track in terms of Bible study. So that's what it's about. And do you want to tell us a little bit about your personal journey on studying the scriptures?
Yeah, as you mentioned, it is a struggle, and it doesn't come easily. And so how I have got round my struggle would be just to consider reading one Bible book, because it's a library of books in the Bible, and so it's just picking one that you think will interest you, and just pick it up and read. And so sometimes I might just pick up Book of Samuel, or any of the so-called minor prophets, one of which we are studying at the minute. Yeah. Or pick one from the Old Testament, pick one from the New Testament. Sometimes easier to pick a short book, which you can finish. And just read it through. If it's a short one, then you could probably finish it within a day or two. Longer ones, then you have to be disciplined.
Okay, I think I'm hearing you, and I do the same as well. The other thing I may want to ask, stem from what you've said, is that if you base your decision on choosing any book that interests you, how are you able? I know that the Bible is something that we're going to be studying for the rest of our lives, but how are you sure that you would have touched on every book of the Bible if you're just looking at the ones that probably interest you?
So that I think on the onset, choosing one that's of interest is the first port of call. And then, as you go along, for instance, I recently, you've probably heard me talk about this a lot, picked up the book of Ezekiel, because it's one that is a challenge to everybody, least understood. And so I thought, right, I'm just going to see what it is that prophet was talking about. And so I know people read through the Bible in a year. I have never done that.
Yes.
And I think sometimes it depends on where I am in my own personal journey with the Lord. And if I feel sometimes I just want to think about, well, so what was it about the tabernacle, for instance? Then I'll go and read, obviously, Deuteronomy, or a particular book that links with that. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but I know that in order to make sure that you read the whole book, that is a huge challenge. And I don't think that one needs to worry unduly about, have I read every book? I think eventually you will get there if if you set yourself that general challenge. But I don't sort of set a target that I must read every book necessarily by a certain stage. But make sure that we touch on ones that are least popular.
Actually, I have two questions come up as you were talking about that, which I'm not quite sure we can address now, but at least I'll let you know what. The first is the fact that, the idea of reading, studying, we tend to use it interchangeably. And you and I know as teachers that they're two completely different things. Like you can start reading and it will lead you into study. And if you intend to study a book, then you're setting yourself up for a good length of time, depending on the size of the book. So I think this is something that people may also, I use the word interchangeably as well, which is not correct, but I think the idea of the study is what maybe people are not very much given into. So the reading is okay. On the other hand, I also think that, even though I asked you that what would happen to other parts of the Bible if you're just choosing what you feel, I have studied quite a bit of the Bible. I mean, book by book. And I've never done a reading plan like you said as well. I've never really done one before. I've never engaged, and I don't see myself doing it. But I've discovered that it's okay to just study a book.
Right.
Because don't forget that there is a central message that runs through the Bible. And of all the books I've read, whether in the Old New Testament, it doesn't matter what genre is it. Are you looking at Psalms? I'm doing Job at the moment. That message of redemption comes through. You see God. You can know God in it. So I think it's in a sense irrelevant. Yes, we want to see how God showed up in different books, but you will see him in every book of the Bible. And seeing him that way would also encourage you to go and see how he represented himself in another book. So I'm not against going for it. I just wanted to see your opinion. Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was a bit nervous thinking, am I saying the wrong thing? But you're right, Jesus did say that the scriptures do point to me.
Exactly.
And I remember when I first ever heard that, I thought, well, I've read a few things. I can't see you in there. Where is it? Until then, as you read, what we begin to see, the story of redemption. The gospel is in here.
Yeah.
However it is told in that particular book.
Yes.
It talks about redemption as a redeemer.
Yeah. So if you're getting value from this conversation, please give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification button so you can receive an alert when a new video is being released.
Yes, definitely.
I was going to ask you about devotional. Did you ever use devotional as
Yeah, so it might be going against what we've said generally about having a plan, for studying the Bible. But as a beginning Christian, when I started as a young Christian, having a daily devotional book that I read scriptures as guided by it on a daily basis. In fact, I went through the calendar.
Okay.
I couldn't have done Rome without it.
Yes.
And I was very appreciative of it. And I think I used the daily devotional for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't think I knew that I could actually read the Bible by
myself.
myself.
Yes.
So we've gone full
See,
cycle.
this is what we're saying.
And it did get to a point where, of course, it wasn't available anymore. So you have to read the Bible yourself. So what you do. So again, as we were saying, you pick a book. But as a new Christian, I would say start with the New Testament.
Yeah.
And start and read the books. I know some people will say start with the book of John. If you want to do that, that's fine. Or you could start with Matthew and read through. And when the gospel, is really entrenched and embedded within you, you could then begin to start from Genesis. Actually, it's a good place to start Genesis because it tells you the story of the beginning of God's creation. And it will take lots of readings of it, of course, over years.
Yes.
And for learning about specific things to then take place. So no, it's a good place to start, the New Testament, and then pick up the Old Testament from Genesis.
I think I did use devotion as well, but I can't remember exactly now when I stopped. So I don't think I've really gone back to using devotion. It's not to say that I haven't read books and other things that are written by people, because you still also need to learn in addition to what you read in the Bible for yourself and see what other people think. In fact, if you disagree with people, I think it's a good thing. It's healthy, because it either means that you have more to learn, or they may actually be wrong, So, and that's healthy in a sense. And so people should not be discouraged with regards to, number one, not understanding, or a different view. Right. So thank you so much. It's really been a wonderful conversation with you, and I hope people will be blessed, and people watching this on YouTube. And I'm hoping to put a link to some of the tools that people can use to help themselves with regards to studying, and resources in the description in the YouTube. Please don't forget to like and share, and also to turn on the notification button once you have subscribed, so that you can receive an alert when a new video is being released. So thank you for watching. And in the next episode, we're going to be talking about the barriers that stop people from remaining consistent in the study of the word. And I would encourage you to look out for that. Thank you, and God bless.